Are you sick of losing to Nadu in Brawl? Well, I know I am. And the giant galaxy brains over at the Discord Brawl Hub may have found the solution. It's a commander I've never even heard of, Satya Aetherflux Genius. Could could this be for real? Welcome to the Attic Manadad here. This is the channel where we explore what's fun in Magic, mostly on Arena. Try to explore a Brawl deck every week. I've been on vacation, but I'm back. I got a Brawl video here. I was trying to think, what can I do that's going to be relevant? And of course, I always like to check in on what's going on the Brawl Hub, the people who are pushing Brawl to the absolute limits, the competitive brawlers. There's a Discord group called Brawl Hub. They got their season coming up September 7th. If you're a brawler, check that out. Anyways, people talking about, and this commander is performing really well, Satya Aetherflux Genius. I mean, I think maybe I heard about it when it came out, but it just went right by me. So I had to look this up. It's a 3/5 Menace Haste. It's 4 mana. Got the Jeskai colors in there. Whenever it attacks, create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of up to one other target non-token creature you control. You get 2 energy, so it generates energy. That's good. At the beginning of the next end step, sacrifice that token unless you pay an amount of energy equal to its mana value. So you could keep the tokens around, or you could just get your like ETBs out of them or something. Very interesting. I'm going to be exploring this as you do. I have yet to play this deck. We're going to go through the deck list, see if we can figure out how it works. There's a huge, I couldn't even read, a fraction of it, discussion on the Brawl Hub about this commander and what cards are really good in it. So let's take a look at it, see if we can figure it out, and then we'll play it, which will be the real way to figure it out. And hopefully we'll match up against Nadu, because the word is this deck is faster than Nadu. This deck can beat Nadu before Nadu can set up its Nadu loops. Okay, so let's see. We got Mishra's Bauble. I think that's just filler. Guide of Souls, great energy card. It did get nerfed recently. 1/2, whenever you attack, you can pay 4 energy. When you do, put 2+1/+1 counters on flying counter on target attacking creature. Becomes an angel. But it's going to generate energy as creatures enter, and also gain life, which is, the incidental life gain is always good. Curse of Silence is kind of a Brawl staple. Ephemerate is good protection spell in white, and of course, if we got a lot of ETB creatures, that it will probably be good. Esper Sentinel, again, another competitive Brawl staple here. Giver of Runes, similar thing. Paladin class, I don't usually see this in Brawl deck lists, but it's like, a little bit of stack. Spells your opponent's cast during your turn cost 1 more to cast. Patriarch's Humiliation, classic white removal for Brawl. Static Prison, so we've got energy-based removal. If you don't know this one, Modern Horizons 3, when it enters, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls until it leaves the battlefield. You're going to get 2 energy, but each main phase you're going to have to sacrifice the prison unless you pay an energy. Swords of Plowshares, pretty self-explanatory. Brainstorm, Spell Pierce, Stern Scolding, 3 Steps Ahead, which is really kind of like a 3-drop. Wash Away, just have to have in every blue Brawl deck pretty much if you're trying to keep it competitive. Witness Protection, another maybe underrated blue removal spell here. Dragon's Rage Channeler, so DRC, generates value, very cheap creature, probably nice to copy. Galvanic Discharge, so this is a damage spell that uses energy. So it's interesting. So we are using a lot of the good energy spells, and as we know, Boros Energy is a competitive deck in a couple formats. Lightning Bolt, so we can go face, so that's interesting. So we got kind of like some burn here. Lithomatic Barrage deals 1 damage to target creature or planeswalker, and it deals 5 damage if that target is white or blue. Okay, so obviously Nadu is one of the ones that gets hit by that. Ragavan, pretty much got to run it if you're in red. So Johnny Nakado Warrior, or Nakado Pariah. Again, just good value from the new Modern Horizons. Ocelot Pride, similar thing. Fateful Absence, a removal, get lost removal. Invasion of Gabakan, which can slow down your opponent. Philia, interestingly enough. So at the beginning of the next end step, return so it can blink up to one other target non-land permanent when it attacks. Then it returns. If you blinked your own thing, you're going to get a +1/+1 counter on Ophelia. And I'm thinking we have stuff that has good ETBs. I don't know if we've really seen much yet. Reprieve, Selfless Spirit, interesting. It's a Guardian Angel. Okay, so here's an ETB. This is an alchemy card. When it enters, conjure a card named Guardian Angel into your hand. Discard that card at the beginning of the next step. When it enters, tap target permanent you don't control. So just making lots of 3/1s as we blink that. That's pretty good. Obviously, as we clone it, make tokens of it. Values Lieutenant, interestingly. Okay, so we have a lot of humans in this list. I wasn't paying attention to that before, but that's a human. Our commander is a human. And when we don't have a lot of humans in the list, but I guess this is pretty good if you blink it. Tithe Taker is a human. Very nice with the Afterlife there. Tail's End, Counterspell, Mana Drain. So just all the like competitive brawl staples here. Charming Scoundrel is a human, has good ETB. Harsh Mentor, human. Whenever an opponent activates an ability, artifact, creature, or land on the battlefield, so a great Nadu tech, anti-Nadu tech, right? They're activating their 0-cost equipment and moving it around on creatures. That's going to deal 2 damage every time they do that. That can really handcuff them. Here we got another alchemy card here. Impetuous Lootmonger, human rogue, 2/2 first strike. When it enters, discard a card, then heist target opponent's library. Heist, as you may remember, is look at 3 random non-land cards from target opponent's library, exile one of them face down. You may cast that card for as long as it remains exiled. You may spend mana as though it were mana of any type to cast that spell. So essentially draw us a card from opponent's library, and we'll make treasure as we cast spells that we don't own. No More Lies, Lightning Helix, and Flage, which is the creature version of Lightning Helix. And of course, if it enters or attacks, even though it's legendary, we're going to get that Lightning Helix effect when we make a token of it. So that's pretty good. 3 steps ahead, which we moved over. Elite Spellbinder, interesting. I feel like this has been a little bit outclassed lately, but looks like maybe the human synergies are enough here. We got Recruiter of the Guard to go get a creature card with toughness 2 or less, which is nice because constantly blink that and get all these little creatures like Aven Interrupter, for example. Spells your opponent's cast from graveyard or from exile cost 2 more to cast, so that's another one that kind of shuts down some of these strategies. Ranger Captain of Eos also lets us search up small creatures, mana value 1 or less, so we get our Ragavan, I guess. And it has the ability that people use in CEDH all the time. Your opponents can't cast non-creature spells this turn, so it can shut down combo for a turn. Skyclave Apparition, a nice one to blink. Tishana's Tidebinder can also shut down stuff. Brazen Borrower. Ghostfire Slice, this is one a lot of people are talking about. I don't think it's on the radar of many people. Most commanders are multicolored, so it ends up being 1 red to deal 4 damage, and most commanders are removable with 4 damage, so pretty nice card there. Seasoned Pyromancer is interesting. Does have an ETB. Reflector Mage, one of the classic ETBs here, and Spell Queller, similar to Reflector Mage. 4 mana slot, so we're using Cyba Siphoner. This is a 2/2 flash alchemy card. It costs 2 less to cast if there are no instant or sorcery cards in your hand. Okay, that's the alchemy element, I guess. When it enters, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. If it would die, shuffle it into its owner's library instead. So kind of prevents you from doing graveyard shenanigans, but there's that. There's Subtlety. We're probably not casting for 4, just using in a pinch. Deferi Time Raveler is nerfed in this format to 4 mana, but there you go. Tajik Legion's Valor. This is an alchemy card. 4 mana, Indestructible Haste. Beginning of combat gets a +1 counter. Then you conjure a card with mana value equal to the number of +1/+1 counters from Tajik's spellbook. And it gains haste until end of turn and attacks. If able, 1 ring, gotta run it. It has been nerfed, you have to pay a mana in this format. Solitude and Fury. So we got a lot of the Jeskai elementals here, which is interesting. Lorien Revealed. Island Cycling for 1. Pinnacle Monk, interestingly. It does have an ETB. It lets you bring back instants or sorceries from your graveyard. So that's probably the reason that it's there. And then a Plains, an Island. Do we even have a regular mountain? Doesn't look like we do. This is what a true competitive brawl mana base looks like. I mean, look at this. Just all the dual lands An Ether Hub, which is interesting. You pay the energy for that. Of course, tons of these fetch lands. Anyways, deck list will be in the description and link to the Brawl discussion in the description. The Brawl Hub discussion in the description. Credit for this deck goes to the Mudman, one of the great Brawl deck builders. We're going to try it out. Let's see how it goes and see if we can beat some Nadu. If the YouTube algorithm has ever shown you all kinds of random terrible stuff, then do me a favor and hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, leave a comment, do things to interact and boost this with the algorithm for positive comments and positive good stuff. Brawl, of course, does not get the love from the YouTube algorithm that it probably deserves. So if you agree with all that, I appreciate everybody who does interact and help out with the algorithm. Okay, that said, let's go see this deck in action. So, Microsoft Satya Nadella is a commander. Who knew? Microsoft CEOs can be their own magic cards. I thought they had a rule against that. Okay. We don't have any 1-drops, but we go first against Freyalise, which is probably coming down on turn 2, but we can hit that with Tail's End or Reprieve, so I think we're fine with that. We'll drop the Elegant Parlor. Probably look for another land. See what we got. Okay, Meticulous Archive is another land. It's tap land. I'm hesitant to lose it. We have stuff to do on a couple turns, so. Oh, don't play an elf. Kind of surprising. Elvish Archivist. Well, I probably should have just played a Johnny there. Got Stormcarved Coast. I could play that. I guess I have Spell Queller and Tail's End available. That's the turn. So there's Freyalise. We'll quell Freyalise. They probably just put it back in their command zone. No, they do not. Maybe? They do not. Okay, so they have removal for the Spell Queller, but that's okay. I think I'm on a Johnny Nikado Pariah here.
May our axes strike as one.
We definitely want a good board of creatures to, especially evasive creatures, to deal with Freyalise once it finally resolves. Elvish Archivist, okay. And a Ranger class. The Source of Plowshare is the Archivist. Maybe that was a mistake, I don't know. Let's attack with both of these. Don't bother to kill the 2/1. We'll surveil, may as well keep the bobble. And then the question is, do they have some way to kill the Spell Queller and then cast Freyalise next turn? Let's just get the commander down. I guess it had haste. So if we were going to play the... So here, learning number 1. We got the menace and haste here. If we were going to play the commander, we probably should have just done it. Okay. Well, I don't really like to see Marwyn the Nurturer. See what they got coming up. Oh, Seiju. Okay. But we don't have any enchantments that really affects. What do we duplicate? We could duplicate the Ajani, I guess. I think I'm going to discard the Dragon's Rage Channeler. Oh, I didn't have a choice there. What should I target here? Johnny? We'll keep this.
Nothing can break.
Because... yes.
Traitors will be punished.
And what should we do? We could create a token. And we control a red permanent, yeah. Well, let's take out Marwyn. Hey, it turns out this card is good. Should we pay money to decline? Because our thing already went away. Alright, this deck is cooking. Freyalise is no slouch of a commander. Not sure they made the right choice by letting us keep Freyalise under the Spell Queller. Shroud Lookout. Twin Eyes of Gaia. We'll take out Gwenna. And we got to attack. We don't got to attack. Oh no, we do have to attack with that. That's indestructible. Attack with Satya. We'll attack with the tokens. We'll attack with the Spell Queller. We want to duplicate here. It's another Boros recruit. They can't block both of them. Oh, it's just taking it. They go to 1. Suppose I missed lethal there. That's a punt.
From the end zone, he punts it. Oh my goodness, this could be the longest punt in Super Bowl history.
I don't think I've been that excited for a punt. What a punt.
And it didn't matter because we thoroughly destroyed them. Alright, I think because of the polluted delta we can get red mana. So I think this is keepable. Opponent is on Malcolm Alluring Scoundrel from LCI. 2/1 flash flying. When it deals combat damage, player put a chorus counter, draw a card, then discard a card. If there are 4 more chorus counters, you may cast the discard card without paying its mana cost. Okay. So don't let it get 4 chorus counters on it. That's our goal. Let's get S% going. At least have to pay us a card. Now we got Spire Bluff Canal. See if they want to flash in Malcolm and no, they don't. Better flash it in. Yeah, there it is. Juicy Chrome Coast while it still comes in untapped. So the Tide Taker is gonna mess with. If they got a bounce spell or something? Shore up, okay. You gotta pay the mana. I want to attack into this. I don't think they blocked it. No, they didn't. Alright, if I start cloning either of these guys, that should really mess with the Malcolm. The Galvanic Discharge plus the Reprieve should be enough here. We don't get Satya down this turn, but Archmage's Charm. Let's let that resolve. Reprieve. Actually, just reprieve my own thing. No. Let them keep their one. But you. Brainstorm now. Spell Pierce. We don't need Restless Bivouac right now. And I think we could shuffle away some of these lands. Paladin's Class. That's pretty useful for like the Tide Taker. So I'll just get rid of Tajik at the moment. I guess I should have put Tajik on top. We didn't want the Restless Bivouac. Or we wanted it less than Tajik. Draw the card. We can't stop the wash away with Spell Pierce here, unfortunately. Maybe we should have tried to put down Paladin Class. We already lost white blue. Fading Hope. Oof. Okay. The Confluence. Okay, we got 3 steps ahead. So what do we start off with? Tide Taker. How much do they dislike it? Let that resolve. Paladin Class. Attack you for 1. It's a battle of wits here. Malcolm, 3 steps ahead. Yeah. Beaten by your own counterspell game, Malcolm. Okay. Bunch of 2-drops. We got 1 drop. Bit short on lands in this hand, huh? Who are we up against? Oh, geez, we're up against Atali. Save this counterspell, I suppose. Oh, and Patriarch's Humiliation. Oh, we've got the Johnny. Invasion of Gabakan. Maybe let's slow him down. Right? Because I don't need Selfless Spirit. If they can't ramp. Hernan took a Disciple of Fraley, so we could actually take a land out of their hand. That forest cycles. Huh. I really want them to play Inti next turn. They just play Springheart, maybe. Maybe that's okay. Evasion. The Stern Scolding would have been nice last turn. Inclined to just get this Dragon Rage. We need to find some land. Already missed our land drop here. Aha. Land ho. Do it, Johnny.
What a beautiful day, brother.
Light Shield. Lesnie Evangel. I mean, that's going to be nice with Thalia's Lieutenant, but I think we just still need to find lands. Now they get empty. Paladin class. Buff up our humans. Cycle the nurturing Bristleback. Hit land. Hit another land. Play the land they were going to lose. So we could save. I think we'll save a Johnny. Give that trample. May as well double block. Our indestructibles. Giver of Runes. Point, I think I want to be holding up Counterspell. Maybe this was too risky of a keep. It's a land. Tap land, but we'll keep it. Attack with everything. Got him down to 11. Crack the wilds. Go find a mountain, most likely. Maybe a forest, if they're... Try to build up forests. 5/3 Hulking Raptor. Maybe I was supposed to counter that, actually. Scalding Tarn. Definitely attacking with the 3/2. We also attack with the 4/4? Why not, I guess. They take it, they go to 4. I think they're all in on playing Atali. Now, how do they win? So, yeah, the most they could block there, they were going to take at least 4. We got him. Ooh, up against Kinnan. Okay. This will be a tricky one. Two lands. We have one piece of Kinnan removal. We have 2 pieces of Kinnan removal. I'm going to keep it. I got to keep it. Actually, I was supposed to play Sulfur Falls there, maybe not. We need to be able to brainstorm and then crack the fetch, right? That's the true legacy player way to play. Should I go get Sulfur Falls? Should I do Hallowed Fountain? Let's see what we get. We'll see if we can figure out a way not to draw a Restless Anchorage, maybe. That's a discard. Huh. I don't know if we care about Cerulean Caretaker, though. Let's spend a Lightning Bolt on it. Just lose the bauble. Ooh, okay. I mean, Primetime would be amazing to get eventually. Let's take the Springleaf Drum. I think that plus Charming Scoundrel should be useful. There's Kinnan. So they do potentially have protection here. Maybe we were actually we were supposed to Static Prison there. Yeah, they have protection. Darn it. participates. Wooded foothills. Well, let's see how much protection they have for Kinnan. Counterspell? What with Kinnan is they can just recast it so easily. Shauna's Tidebinder. Okay. Keep looting them. What do we lose? Scoundrel. We can get witness protection. There we go. Some more removal. Keep that guy around. Windschwept Heath. A little bit worried now. The 2 attempts to remove Kinnan go awry. They've got serious mana now. Wandering Archaic. Okay. Make some treasures. Cameo safekeeping, yeah. They are well protected here. Restless Anchorage worth activating? I guess we'll take the Paradise Druid. I guess I didn't mean to attack with that guy, but oh well, they're at 7. Making serious treasures here. Crack this map. Targeting probably the flyer. Delighted happened. Yeah. You can watch something else. You can watch Netflix. So we can once again attempt to hit Kinnan. Auto pay this? I think I should. First for discovery, okay. They're digging for Kinnan savers. Save damage here. Okay, opponent calculated that they were toast before I did. I had 5 wins in a row, and I should have quit there, but just wanted to go up against a Nadu. I'm up against Buxton. This 4/4 Convoke. At the beginning of your end step, if you control a tapped creature, seek a non-land permanent card with mana value X or less, X the number of tapped creatures you control. Put that card onto the battlefield. Ugh. Okay. Let's see if we can get there before they do. Gabakanum. S%. Annoying. Worried about not giant killer. Raven Inspector. Enclave Tribunal. I'm gonna take that out of there. Blage this sucker next turn. Babsy Babsy. That's the life either way. Fanatic of Ronas. They're ready to start convoking. Tidebinder, does that do anything? It's a triggered ability. But do they play their commander when we're holding up mana? Pass the turn. They came to play Magic. Haywire might be good. Deck definitely gets in trouble against these go wide decks with no board wipe. Aha, there's Buxton. Darian. Sure. Buxton is shut down, but they have a huge board. See what we can do. Their layout. Yeah. A recruiter of the guard. Try to find something to deal with King Darian. Maybe we're supposed to brainstorm first, actually. That's a punt.
From the end zone, he punts it. Oh my goodness, this could be the longest punt in Super Bowl history.
I don't think I've been that excited for a punt. What a punt.
It's the apparition, probably. I can find something. Oh, I could solitude it. Need be. Andrea's Forerunners. Okay. That was a good draw from opponent. Guess I could solitude that. ETB. I think we just let him win. Big game. Okay, so as you can see, first 5 games, win, 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 win. Should have stopped there. But I was like, no, I want to try to find a Nadu. Then lost to 2 rainbow decks. Definitely had some mana issues. Lost to some green-white decks. I don't know. I was probably also making lots of mistakes. Beat Atraxa Praetor's Voice, which is a no-joke commander. Then lost to that new Tameo from MH3, which is at least a Simic commander, although it doesn't show it there. So, win rate, 55% on the play, 67% on the draw, 40%, 6 and 5. The people on the Brawl Hub definitely are getting a better win rate. They're probably, yeah, they are definitely better strategic players than I am. Of course, I didn't test out this deck ahead of time, even though I was doing really good on the first 5 games. And maybe I just slacked off. I don't know. Anyways, you leave your theory in the comments, what you think happened with old Satya. But let me know also in the comments if you play this deck and you go up against Nadu, because the idea of me doing this deck was it's a deck that people say is good against Nadu, but for some reason the almighty YouTube, no, not YouTube algorithm, the almighty Brawl matchup algorithm did not match us against a Nadu deck. I don't know what's happening. It's up in a different extra hell queue, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, thanks for joining me here in the attic. I've been ManaDad, reminding you magic is a game so fun, even dads can enjoy it. Adios.